Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Now, as we continue our conversation on Republic Day celebration, I have the privilege of chatting virtually with activist Wendell Eversley. And now, if you know, you know that he was one of those persons who was a part of that attempted coup in 1990. Good morning, Mr. Eversley, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago.
Good morning to Tobago. Good morning to all your listeners. Thank you again for having me on. Just one thing I want to correct you on, when I say I was part of the attempted coup, I,
you
I
you
shall
were
not
not involved, but you were there.
I was a hostage on, on July the 27th, 1990. That's 34 years ago. But today yesterday we celebrate Republic Day 48 years again. The young nation. We must not forget um,
We're
change
having somewhat of an issue with your connection.
the
As we attempt to have this conversation this morning, we're experiencing a bit of technical difficulty there with Mr. Wendell Eversley. But as he clarified, he was one of those hostages and not one of those persons who attempted that coup. But the gist of this morning's conversation has to do with why it is important for us, not just on a national level, but also on an individual level, to take national pride in celebrating these types of events and activities and all the events that has led up to Trinidad and Tobago being where it is today. Now, when we look at, young persons from different parts of the world, whether it be Europe or the United States or Canada, we hear young persons talking thoroughly about their history and who they are and where they came from. So it's important for us to educate our youth on what it means to be Trinbagonian and all the activities that led to us even becoming a republic nation. Good morning and welcome back, Mr. Eversley.
good morning. We must ask ourselves, what are we achieving by having Republic Day? And if we are truly a republic country, Trinidad and Tobago. And the reason why I'm saying this, because I think what we're lacking right now, and we're seeing in Trinidad and Tobago, a lack of statecraft in our country. And when we talk about statecraft diplomacy, it must start from the top, from the president, come down. And when we have a president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, you always say the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, we first become republic the 1st of September 1976, and we celebrate it on the 24th of September 1976. And after our Republican Constitution, the first parliament met. But we must ask ourselves, if we see statecraft diplomacy not being followed by the head of state, then something is definitely wrong in Trinidad and Tobago. Because if we could have an attempted coup in our country 34 years ago, which is the anniversary on the 27th, and then you have the president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago coming to lay a wreath on the 29th of July, then it shows something like whoever is advising the president not giving her the correct date. And what's shocking to me is knowing that the president, who served as a former member of parliament, a former minister, and former senate of the president, should know that July the 27th is the anniversary of the attempted coup that took place in Trinidad and Tobago, which is part of our history, and not the 29th of July. So we are seeing we lacking statecraft leadership coming from the head. And these are the things we must point out, and we must let the population know that we cannot have the head of state doing a disservice not only to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, but to the families who lost their loved one on July the 27th, 1990. I was in America on September the 11th this year, 23 years where they celebrate the attack on their soil, where over 2,900 persons were murdered during a terrorist attack. And I was in Times Square, and I saw the President of America, Joe Biden. I saw the Vice President, Kamala Harris. I saw also the the candidate for the Republican, Donald Trump, was there also. And I saw Republicans and Democrats was there also in attendance. And they read out every single family member names who was murdered on that day. And that thousands of people recognizing that this was an attack on the soil and the people of our United States of America. But in Trinidad here, I have been writing the president umpteen letters. Umpteen letters. This president, I wrote up 2 letters since she in office, never is get acknowledgement. And then today, yesterday they will come and tell us about Republic Day. Right? We have to ask ourselves, are we truly a Republican country? Are we truly recognizing what the day really stands for? That's why in Trinidad and Tobago we need constitutional reform. And without proper constitutional reform, our country will continue remaining in the state we are in today. Look what's going on in Tobago. I listened to Martin George. I think he's the chairman of the Business Chamber of Tobago. And he's calling again for other shake-up in the TTPS in Tobago. Because how Tobago reached where it is today? Who are to be held accountable for all these guns? It entered Trinidad, now it's flowing over into Tobago. The crime entered Trinidad, now it's flowing over into Tobago. The murders in Trinidad, now it's flowing over into Tobago. So something is definitely up. So what are we celebrating as a community, as a nation?
So, Mr. Eversley, are you saying that if the government has not taken the initiative to celebrate that 1990 coup and recognize it as a national holiday, that the Republic Day celebrations are basically null and void and unnecessary?
Yes, it's null and void. We don't have a public holiday, but we must remember our citizens was murdered. A certain prime minister come from Tobago, right? The first prime minister of Tobago, the first in everything, the one who fought for the court, that we're seeing that
We are having a bit of an issue hearing
and
your audio.
governor
So we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back right after this. See you soon. Good morning and welcome back. We have been chatting with activist Wendell Eversley, who was one of those 1990 hostages with that 1990 attempted coup. Good morning and welcome back, Mr. Eversley. Before we took the break, you had a bit of a technical difficulty with your audio. You were indicating that the Republic Day celebrations are basically null and void if the government has not taken the initiative to recognize and celebrate, the persons who would have lost their lives during that 1990 coup. So you can go ahead.
You asked earlier on, yes, you were saying concerning the communities. Okay, then, for instance, in Tobago, but the young ones, what they understand about Republic Day. A son of the soil of Tobago, I listened to him give a lecture, and he asked the question, what are we celebrating Republic Day for? Is it a ceremonial day? Or is it a day that we could say Trinidad and Tobago achieve something where Republic Day is concerned? For instance, in Tobago, is the school children know about some of the great men and women that passed through Tobago? Is that being taught in the school to let them know about this is what Tobagonians achieve since independence to now Republic Day? Did they know the history of A&R Robinson? You all just lose another well-educated person Regional Dumas. The Tobagonians know about him. I listened to the former Chief Secretary, Deputy Chief Secretary, came to a reclaiming ceremony, Watson Duke, and he said, that was the first year in office, he said that the history of A&R Robinson will be taught in school. He called on the Secretary of Education and he said, matter of fact, they are going to implement it. They're coming out of office. Have they implemented? No. So how could we say we, as a republic country, celebrate Republic Day 48 years? Yes, we have challenges. We're facing challenges. We have to thank God for where we reached from then to now, from independence to republic to where we are today. But we have to hold leaders. And if we don't hold leaders to account, then something definitely wrong, because we put leaders there to direct the cause, direct our future. We put leaders there to make decisions on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But when you have leaders showing disrespect to history, what do you expect to get from the young people? And then we always want to blame the youth and want to blame the young ones. And is that what we lacking? We have to ask ourselves, why is we celebrating Republic Day? Is it a ceremonial day for the president? Is it a ceremonial day for you to just hand out awards? You change the awards from Independence Day to now Republic Day. In 1999, Republic Day holiday was removed to make way for Spiritual Baptist Day. In 2001, 2002, Republic Day came back when Patrick Manning came in as Prime Minister, and bring back Republic Day. They changed the award ceremony from Independence Day to Republic Day. So what it is we really achieved as a young nation, 48 years. That's why I keep saying we need constitutional reform. And the only way we could get constitutional reform in this country is we have to have the right set of people sitting in our parliament, the 41 elected members. And we, the people who put them there, people them that have to do what it is we want for our country. Because when they go in there, study their parliament, when you get elected, you are a representative for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You are a representative for all the constituents in your constituency. Either they vote for you or they did not. Either they vote for you or did not support you. When election come and finish, you have to see about the people of this country. And what we are seeing today is a set of partisan politics. And the people have been suffering, and the place is getting worse and worse. We are crying out right now for meaningful leadership in the TTPS. We are crying out right now for parents to hold their children accountable. When you can have a chief secretary saying to the people of Tobago that a primary school student told him that his uncle make more money than him, and his uncle living a life of crime. So then you can't blame that primary school student for saying what he said to the chief secretary. The parents know who there's children involved in criminality, and they do nothing about it. You know why? Because they gains from the illegal gains that them collecting and bringing home. And a parent wouldn't ask a child, your daughter come home, you see her with a big gold chain, she ain't working away, she's still in school, where you get that gold chain from? Your son come home, he ain't working away, he come with a set of nice sneakers, they ain't asking where you get that from, right? And this is the problem that we have going on right now. And we just want to put the blame on the teachers. When parents are allowing the problem where the children see them at home, take to the school. And then we have a next problem in the school where children now is not listening to teachers. I just feel sorry for teachers when they go to school. You can see the frustration every day. School now open, I see fighting in school in Trinidad. Well, how we reach there is something.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eversley. Guys, we're going to come back with much more conversation right after this. See you soon.